Welcome to week 7 of Using Educational Technology in the English Language Classroom. I'm Shammaa and I will be sharing with you my major project on speaking for large classrooms. This literature lesson tackles romantic poetry in the 19th century. As an example, Dreamland by Edgar Allan Poe. The content of this presentation is as follows: speaking tools, speaking lesson description, lesson plan, homework, learning outcomes, and a reference list. The main speaking tools that are expected to be utilized in this lesson are Snapchat, Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, and Youglish. The purpose of choosing Snapchat application in this lesson is that the students are familiar with the application. They are fan of it and they are master users. So I will create a Snapchat group for the class so that target activities shared on this group in class. There is also an advantage of keeping the snaps permanent for later and for further purposes. Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary is not only a website, it also provides mobile application that can be downloaded on students' smartphones, which is a plus. The students are recommended to use this application to find out new vocabulary meanings that they will encounter. Since the content of this lesson is not contemporary. Though Youglish is new so far, I believe, it is easy to use and very useful when students are not sure about certain pronunciation, as well as it will help them in their homework for reading a poem of their own choice. Other tools are welcome to be used as long as they serve the purpose of the lesson. Speaking activities lesson description. The implementation site is a college in Oman. The class size is expected to vary from 10 to 15 students. They are there at the beginning of their specialization, that is the first or second semester of the foundation program. As their specialization is literature, English literature particularly, speaking fluency and intonation are major purposes. In the course in general, at this level in particular, and in this lesson specifically, fluency plays a significant role in language use and fosters language acquisition, just like first language. The fact that students are Omanis implies that English is foreign to them. Even more, they have received very little, if not no language practice opportunities. That's due to the educational constraints back at school. At this level of education, it is expected that the students are capable not only to construct knowledge, but share knowledge in different mediums, fluently and confidently. Successful knowledge share is not limited to fluency, that is, speaking without longer pauses, speaking without hesitation, paying less attention to errors. Rather, it can be enhanced through detailed features of nonverbal communication and intonation. Intonation is vital to infer embedded meanings and messages, and more primarily convey a question mark when it's impossible to write it in merely auditory communication like phone calls. Confidence and fluency are reciprocal in relation to speaking. The use of Snapchat in particular puts some psychological pressure on students to speak. on students, since it allows 38 seconds of every shot. This actually helps them gain confidence and let them forget about errors and correctness, opposite to the traditional approaches that they were exposed to, where accuracy is the main concern. Available resources in the classroom is internet access, a computer, projector, as well as students' smartphones. The speaking lesson is expected to last for about an hour and a half, with various activities that vary from individual, pair work, group work, and whole class activities. The lesson plan. The students first listen to the poem. The teacher either reads it aloud or share with them a recorded version. By clicking on the word poem, we'll take you to a YouTube video in which the poem is made into a 3D movie. This is expected to help students better understand their poem. The students may want to listen more than once, which is fine. This will take from 6 to 10 minutes. Allow the students to look and read the poem silently afterwards in not more than 2 minutes, and check meanings and pronunciation using Merriam-Webster application on their mobile phones as well as English. Then start meaning discussion voyage, explanation and clarification of the poem by drawing on what the students have understood, read previously, and direct their understanding. Next, this stage prepares the students for later activities in this lesson. Thus, it starts from the zone of proximal development that I think should not be overlooked in fluency EFL classroom, as it reduces their stress when errors or mispronunciation may occur. This provides an opportunity to students to speak out loud in a more relaxing atmosphere and less anxious environment, no matter who did what, but introducing an image of how a poem flows out loud. Reading in chorus tunes the class to the poem music, rhyme, rhythm, and intonation. This also helps gaining better feel of the language and meaning of the genre tackled. This stage is expected to last for 20 to 25 minutes, as it includes students' video recordings. Each student will read a stanza of their own choice and send their video on to the classroom group via Snapchat. While working on the read aloud stage, the students are recommended to use Youglish and Merriam-Webster online dictionary to enhance their pronunciation. It is expected that the students and the teacher will reflect on what and how they thought about the task. In about 20 minutes, the students are supposed to give 2-minute speech, impromptu speech actually. They will define an element of figurative language. They will define an aspect, give an example from the poem, and justify their choice. The topic or the element of figurative language varies, which is a great opportunity to provide a unique chance to each and every student. Here is the suggested list of alternatives. Imagery could be visual, auditory, kinesthetic, gustatory, tactile. Similes, metaphors, personification, hyperbole, alliteration, and onomatopoeia. For the sake of challenge, suspense, and enthusiasm, random assignment, I think will be a good choice. By clicking on the word random, a website will show up. The teacher in this website can insert the list of the topics or aspects of the impromptu speech and spin the wheel to assign each student a topic. Students are allocated 30 seconds for preparation and 1 minute and 30 seconds minutes for speech. The audience can ask for further explanation if needed, of course. Finally, the students in less time constraint will reflect on the poem if it is related to them or any of their personal experiences, if it calls back on a memory, or they like certain line or word, or it reminds them of something. Each student must be given the chance to reflect out loud. The homework. Individually, the students will choose one poem from the syllabus. They will read it aloud, analyze it in terms of the aspects raised in the lesson, and reflect upon the poem. That's in terms of personal relevance, likes and dislikes. They are supposed to videotape it to share it on the Moodle. The Moodle is the online platform of the course, where students and teachers have access to all the course contents. In this case, the students and the teacher will have access to the recordings and use them for further purposes and for later lessons. Throughout the lessons, the students are recommended to use Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary, Youglish, and Snapchat, or any other video recording software of their choice are welcome to be used. Yet, they should mention this in their submission. Intended learning outcomes. Exposing the students to authentic compositions will certainly result in broadening their lexical repertoire. Add to that the text is not contemporary. Another outcome is that the students will be able to speak fluently with sufficient attention to their intonation. The students will be able to communicate meanings and messages, ask for clarification, and initiate speaking chances through. I think that the intended learning outcomes in this lesson double up as they go beyond language-related ones. The students, through the lesson, are supposed to gain better confidence when using the target language without the pressure of grammar this time, as well as transfer acts of speech politeness from their mother tongue to the EFL classroom and use appropriate phrases to ask for clarification, agree upon certain explanation, express disagreement, or addition. They will rehearse extra polite role-taking in speech for the sake of understanding the speaker rather than to fire back. They will also take their technology-related skills to the educational realm than only entertainment as they are used to doing. That's all about today's lesson. Thank you very much.